Hi, this is Paul Balazs from Vive Therapeutic Massage, and I've recorded a little video to help provide feedback for you guys on the new booking experience. I want to thank you first of all for allowing me to be part of the beta. That's really been very helpful for me, and I also want to thank you for the feature to be able to turn it on and off. Much like the guest profile and others, that's been great that we can do that. All the other features that we were in beta on, we've kept on, but at this point, I've had to turn off the new booking experience. So, without any further ado, here is my feedback. So, overall, there's some real positives. The general overall design is very attractive. The look and feel initially appears a lot more intuitive. There's some opportunities there yet, but for the most part, it's pretty easy to understand, and it has a pretty good flow. Uh, on the shortcoming side, opportunities for improvement. There seem to be some oversights that some of which actually might prevent us from being able to use it as is. So, all right. Um, First piece of feedback. I finally figured this out, but I included a screenshot of the configuration, um, and it wasn't intuitively clear to me what the sync options would do. And once I turned them on, I was excited because they behaved exactly in the manner that I would have liked the system to behave. Um, so maybe just a little bit better verbiage there to describe what's going on. All right, let's start with the single booking. And you'll notice that I start a single booking starting with a service, and when I dove into the pregnancy massage, it's asking you to select a variant, and it's also showing me times that are they're not consistent with any booking intervals, and actually many of the times that I highlighted there are outside of our business hours. So I maybe it's not important because we really haven't selected a service yet. Once I did select the service, it did only display times that were appropriate. So, all right. And by the way, I'm going to apologize up front here that some of my feedback here might appear a little scattered. I've tried to organize it as best as I can, but there's a lot here, so I kind of grabbed stuff as I came across it. Um, so on the left side of the screen, I've selected the service, um, and it's providing me with the time, 7 o'clock, that the service is available. When we're booking internally, we really need to know who that therapist is for each time slot. Maybe there's more than one. I could have two 7 o'clocks available, and I have no way of knowing that going through this flow. Okay. On the right side of the screen, I have progressed the booking through right up until the final step of booking the appointment, and this is the first time I'm able to identify who the therapist is assigned. And it's just not very user friendly for us to go, oh, that's not who we wanted. Now I got to back up the steps and kind of start the process all over again. All right. Again, random thoughts here. I started a booking process, and it became known that, oh, this was supposed to be a surprise booking. So I went to change the setting from simple booking to surprise booking, and the system actually throws up an error message that's in the middle of the screen there, saying we're going to throw away everything you've done so far. You're going to have to start all over again. And this is well different than the existing booking wizard, where I could be well into the process of setting up the appointment in the booking wizard and turning on the checkbox for a surprise visit. All it does is add host information to the screen. That is much more user friendly, and I should be able to change the type of booking anytime in the process, whether it's a simple booking, a group booking, whatever it is. All right, in this example, I have already selected a service and selected a time for that service, and now I'm trying to add a second service to the appointment, and I picked a date where, in this case, I selected the anti-aging sauna as a second service, and it's saying there are no openings that day. Well, that's not true. Every time is available that day. I think what might be happening here is that none of the times that are available happen to match up to be immediately after. So it has to do with the booking intervals defined in the system, and none of the booking interval times happen to match up perfectly to line up with the end of the other service. I need a lot more flexibility than that. I need to be able to schedule, at any time I want, not just on the booking interval times. Booking intervals make a lot of sense, in particular for online booking, that's customer facing. But internally, we want to be able to manage our calendars more crisply and clearly. There are times where we want to book outside of the booking interval, and the system's not allowing us to do that. All right, moving on. When I'm looking at the therapist selections, and this is not a must-have, but it's kind of a nice-to-have. It would be great if we could actually select multiple therapists to search on all at one time. We have many guests who have a short list of, I like Amy, I like Amanda, I like Carol. Let's see which of those people have availability coming up soon. And the only way for me to do that is to search one by one. And it would be much more efficient if I could pick those three and move on. So just an added feature, that'd be nice. Maybe even, as I'm thinking about it, allow us to set up favorites for our guests, so we can add Amy as as one of their favorite therapists and search by favorites. That could be an option. All right, I'm not even sure how I got here and why this showed up, but I was trying to schedule an appointment for April 1st, and for some reason the system would not show me any availability past March 31st. Again, I don't know exactly how I got here, but it did happen to me more than once. All right, I think this might be a bug. So I am looking at a guest's past appointments, and I'm trying to rebook a specific appointment, and I immediately got an error while trying to fetch the services. Don't know what that was about. This was repeatable. I was able to generate this more than once, so you guys might want to take a look at that. All right, in this example, I'm trying to look at an existing appointment. So I double click on the appointment, and the appointment window pops up. And one of the use cases that we run into a lot is, and this usually happens with online bookings, a wife might be booking an appointment for her husband, and she erroneously goes and books the appointment, but she books it under her name, with maybe a note saying, hey, this is for my husband. We have to go change this appointment. And the new system does not allow us to do that. We were able to modify the guest in the old appointment. There was still a little bit of a flaw there, not a flaw, but a pain point, I'm going to call it, because we might lose the credit card information then, of you know that was used for that appointment. But we need to be able to change the guest. All right, when we're booking multiple services, kind of back to that topic again, I'm sorry. I'm trying to, again, add a sauna to a massage appointment. And so we've already selected the massage. Now we're getting ready to select the sauna time. And I have had a brain cramp, and I don't remember what time I booked that massage for. So it would help down in the lower part of the box to not only say that there's one service selected, but actually specify what that service is, what time was it, and who the therapist was. Give me some details. There's no way for me to investigate that without going backwards and then going forwards again. All right, this is something I stumbled on. Again, don't know why this happened. I think this might be related to the April 1st appointment availability going forward, but the system threw me an error message that the time's no longer available. Well, I know nobody else was booking for that day, so that wasn't the issue. But just thought I'd throw this out there so that you guys are aware of it. All right. When we are selecting a service, showing the unavailable times is not very useful. As a matter of fact, it's less than not useful. It actually complicates things. It clutters up the screen and makes me process more information than I should have to try to find an appointment time for a guest. I see that in the filters there's a way to turn that off, but that only applies for this booking, and I would like to be able to turn it off by default, and if I ever need it, I'll go to the filters and turn it on, but that's going to be 1 in 100 times, maybe 1 in 1,000 that I would ever turn that on. So, okay, moving on. The new booking experience doesn't show me readily the information about the phone number and email address of the guest. We often will use that as a way to verify that we've selected the correct Mary Smith when entering their account information. But for us, the date of the last visit and the membership balance are both really useful pieces of information. So it would be helpful if those were obvious. And now that I'm getting to know the new system a little bit more, there may be ways to get around that or to readily find that. But anyway, it'd be nice if it would just be there. All right, in this example, and this is a big one, this is actually huge for us. It's the showstopper. And on the left side, we started the booking from the calendar. We said new appointment, and we selected a time that is not aligned with the booking intervals. The system will not honor that selection, and we have no way of booking that appointment. So, I guess we could select a time that's on the booking interval if it's available, and then go back and change, slide it on the calendar and change it. But we shouldn't have to do that. We should have the option of being able to pick a time that does not align with the booking interval. The old system, if you click clicked on a time that was not aligned with the booking interval, it still honored it. It put put the therapist and the start time right in the appointment, in the booking process, and we could move on from there. So it would be nice if we could do that in the new system as well. All right, this is something that doesn't work in the current system, and it equally does not work in the new system. Repeat appointments, which we have a ton of, and we get our weekly people, we got our every 2 week, every 3 week, and then we have our monthly people, and I cannot use the monthly repeat feature because look what it does. It assumes that if the starting appointment is on the 8th of April, that I'm going to want every appointment to be on the 8th of the month. Well, those fall on different days of the week, and our therapists aren't scheduled by the day of the month, they're scheduled by the day of the week. So on the right, I've shown you the look and feel of the weekly, where I can select the day of the week, and there might need to be another option of, do I want it on the first Wednesday, the second Wednesday, the third Wednesday, and so on of the month, and it needs to honor that. That's the way Outlook works. That's the way most other calendar programs I've dealt with work. I'm surprised with as many businesses you serve that have monthly memberships that I can't be the only one that has a problem with this. If we're trying to book somebody out today, we have to book those appointments one at a time, and it's a little bit painful. Kind of along with this, let's take the weekly example. Once I make my selections and I start to proceed, it actually shows me the proposed booking dates, but I have no way of unselecting any of those. Every once in a while, somewhere in there, there might be a date that the therapist isn't available, or the business is closed for the holiday, or maybe the guest doesn't want that day because they're going on vacation. I should be able to uncheck those and move on. But instead, I have to let the system go ahead and book all those bad dates. Now I have duplicate bookings, and I have to go find them and reschedule them. It's quite the pain. So a couple things about the repeat bookings. All right, one last suggestion here is that it would be helpful if when we open up an existing appointment that we could easily view the appointment log, and while we're at it, how about sending a text to the guest, or we're looking forward to the HyperConnect voice pretty soon. Making that phone call would be helpful too. So just a more unified experience. All right, that is all I have. I want to thank you for your time and really all your hard work. I'm very much looking forward to the new booking experience and many other things that I know you guys are working on. But if you have any questions, reach out to me. I am happy to help out, and have a great day. Thanks.